Hello, and welcome to the Get Lean and Eat Clean podcast. My name is Brian Grin. I'm a certified health coach, trainer, and author. And this podcast is for middle aged men and women looking to optimize their health and get their bodies back to what it once was 10 to 15 years ago. I will give you simple, actionable items to get long term sustainable results. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show. All right. Welcome to the Get Lean, Eat Clean podcast. My name is Brian Grin. I hope you had a great weekend. We had a beautiful weekend here in Chicago. So hopefully it's some nice weather where you're at. And hopefully you listened to my last episode with the Meat Mafia, Brett and Harry. And we discussed Brett's battle with ulcerative colitis and how he overcame this by establishing a meat-based approach, along with, Harry, and how he lost over 20 pounds as well. So we didn't just touch on about carnivore eating, because they do mix in other when they can, fruits and occasional tubers and vegetables in there as well. So not a full-on carnivore, but definitely the importance of eating real foods. We also talked about their routine on a day-to-day basis, the advantages of raw dairy, and also about chicken as well. So definitely check out episode 197 with the Meat Mafia. And today I wanted to touch on it's a popular question, because a lot of people maybe are trying to lose those extra pounds, and they're wondering, well, if I lose weight, and let's just say they go with the basic, okay, I want to restrict calories, which can be helpful in one sense, but sometimes when you overdo it, it can cause damage. And the question is, as your body weight goes down, does your metabolism goes down? And the answer is yes. So in this episode, I'm going to just touch on a little bit what metabolism is and how we can, quote unquote, diet, but also maintain a positive and not wreck our metabolism, essentially. So, what does your metabolism do? For one thing, it never stops. It's even when your body's at rest, it's constantly providing energy for your body, your bodily functions. This is breathing, this is circulating blood, digesting food, growing and repairing cells, managing hormonal levels, and regulating body temperature. So a lot of times you'll hear people talk about the BMR, which is your basal metabolic rate. And that just refers to the number of calories your body needs to function while you're resting. So essentially, this could vary from person to person. And what you want to make sure that you do if you are looking to lose weight is you want to try to keep that metabolism up as high as you can, but also lose weight, which can be very tricky because it gets harder and harder. For example, if you're on a diet and you're losing weight, essentially your metabolism is also going to go down. So I'm going to talk about essentially what you can do to prevent that from happening. One of the things you don't want to do is restrict calories too much, because you restrict calories too much and a severe deficit is surely going to cause your metabolism to nosedive. You saw this with like The Biggest Loser. They eat less, exercise more mentality, and they tested them out like I think 5 years after the show, and their metabolism was still wrecked from all the exercise, the chronic exercise, and the under eating. So that is not the route you want to go. One route you do want to go is if you are in a slight caloric deficit, which, honestly, I'm that could be tough to judge from person to person. But I think most importantly, what you should be doing is just eating whole foods. Is the quality of the foods that you're eating is most important, as opposed to worrying so much about calories. But one of those macronutrients that you do want to focus on is protein. And you want to keep protein high when you're dieting. And one of the things that it can help do is it helps spare muscle when you're dieting. So the more muscle you can keep, the better you're off. And so what I would say is, if you really want to rev up your metabolism, you should do resistance training. And if you listen to any of my podcasts, we always talk about that's like the ultimate anti-aging pill is resistance train. You don't have to do it every day, 2 to 3 times a week. I think consistently is really a good routine to get into. So that's what I would say is make sure that you're eating quality whole foods, single ingredient foods, that you're not calorie restricting like crazy and over exercising, keeping consistent resistance training going and making sure that your protein is up as well. Because I've talked about it before, as we age, we need to make sure that we really keep that protein up, because your body does not absorb it as well as you were when, as it did when you were in your 20s. So that's all I wanted to touch on today. Let's keep those metabolisms revving up. And you can do those by consuming protein, resistance training, and eating full nutrient dense foods that are single ingredients. So that's all I got for you today. I hope you have a great rest of the week, and I'll talk to you on Friday with another great interview. Thanks so much. Thanks for listening to the Get Lean, Eat Clean podcast. I understand there are millions of other podcasts out there, and you've chosen to listen to mine, and I appreciate that. Check out the show notes at briangrin.com for everything that was mentioned in this episode. Feel free to subscribe to the podcast and share it with a friend or family member that's looking to get their body back to what it once was. Thanks again, and have a great day.